Attorneys and foreclosure mills push paper. They don't know or care about your case, and believe it or not, they don't know everything about the law. In this video, I'm going to show you how we stopped a foreclosure auction in 3 days using a little known loophole in Florida law. We did it with zero money out of pocket to the defendants, and actually, they put about 20 grand in their pocket when we were done. I'm Bryce Braggins. I've been studying real estate since I was 16 years old. I've been buying property in the Jacksonville, Florida area since 2009, specializing in foreclosures, probates, inherited and abandoned property. Everything I'm going to share with you is over a decade of experience of being in the trenches, buying and selling these types of properties, and the legal loopholes we've got to jump through to get things done. It was a Thursday, and I was looking online at the Duval County auctions that were coming up next week. And I get to Tuesday, and I run across this property in Murray Hill. It's on Astral Street. And the judgment is only, it's like 90 grand, which that's in the Murray Hill section of Jacksonville. It's a high flip location. So, you can buy them on the lower side, and then you can sell, once you fix them up, they become gentrified, if you will, and then you can sell them for 400,000. So this at 90 grand, I'm wondering, it's got some equity in it, what's going on? So I go over to the property appraiser's address, type in, the website, type in the address, pull it up, and it's got such and such estate. Well, and state at the end is just indicative of whoever owned that property passed away. So immediately I know I've got heirs involved. I've got an auction coming up Tuesday. So I'm wondering, you guys inherited some property. Why haven't you sold it? Why are you just letting the bank take it over? So after doing some research, I get online. I try to find the obituary of the gentleman. That gives me who may have preceded him in death, or not preceded, but succeeded him in death. Basically, it gives me a list of potential heirs. Well, I can't find an obituary anywhere online, which doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So I'm particularly curious about this property. So I go down to the Bureau of Health Statistics, and I pay $5, and I get a death certificate. And that tells me at least one person who reported his death. So it gives me a contact, basically. So I get this lady's name, and I look up her information, and I call her, and no answer, of course. So I text her, and I can only imagine what it looks like on her side with some random stuff coming up. But I'm like, hey, I'm Bryce. I'm an investor. Your property is... I show that you're the rightful heir for this property. It's going into foreclosure. It's going to be sold by the bank. You're going to end up getting nothing out of it on Tuesday. Why don't you let me buy it from you guys, and at least you get some money in your pocket? And she says, well, we've tried a few times. Just to let you know, there's 10 of us, and I don't know where all my cousins are. And you're going to have to find and get a hold of everybody. And I was like, all right, well, you find the contacts that you can, and I'll try to find all the cousins. So I go through this. It's like Thursday afternoon. The auction's Tuesday. I need paperwork signed to stop that auction. I need to get in touch with attorneys. I need to get this in front of a judge to stop an auction. And I've got 10 heirs I've got to find, and I have no idea. And she doesn't know where all of them are. I don't know where all of them are. So she gets working on the people that she knows. Granted, it's Thursday. She's at work. She's trying to do this while she's working. I get crazy on the skip tracing, they call it in the industry, where I start looking for all of the known heirs. And so after scrounging, finding numbers, calling this person, talking to brothers, uncles, second removed, cousin, twice removed, get all 10 heirs, get contracts out, get paperwork out, to try to stop this thing. I got to get everybody signing it, email, email here, email there. 10 emails go out, waiting on them to respond so I can get this paperwork in front of who I need to get in front of in order to stop in order to get the auction stopped. Well, it's after hours now. It's Thursday. Friday comes. I'm jumping on calls with the attorney that's handling foreclosing on this property. So I get on. I'm calling them. They're not answering. I'm emailing. Guy finally calls me back, and he's like, "Look, the bank doesn't care. It's going to auction. It's going Tuesday. You're not stopping it. I don't care what you do." I'm like, "Look, we've got a signed contract. We just need a payoff, and when the bank's going to get all its money, easy peasy. What's the problem here?" He's like, "We're not lifting a finger to help." And I said, "All right." So I hung up, and then I went to the Florida statutes, and I pulled them up, and I even told him on the phone. I said, "Oh, I've got a right of redemption. I can just pay whatever's on that judgment, and you won't get anything else. You won't get any attorney's fees that's not already included in that judgment. You won't get any extra interest. All I've got to do is pay that judgment." And he's like, "Well, no." I was like, I can do it up to 10 days after the auction. I don't know what your problem is." So I said, "All right." So I hang up with him. I go pull up the Florida statute, highlight it, put it in the email, send it over to him, and say, "Put a cease to it, or I'll file a motion to cease to it." And he changes his tune a little bit after I sent him the statute. Actually, to be honest with you, he wasn't really scared of me. I did get a good friend of mine who's an attorney to jump in on it, and she sent the email too, stating a couple other things other than the actual statute that I sent to stop it. But ultimately, he went ahead and drafted the motion on that Friday, got it filed on the Monday, and electronically filing, it can take some time before it even gets in front of the judge. So Monday's coming, and all day I'm just watching the case, and I'm waiting for that thing to hit, waiting to see if the judge signs the order. Judge signs the order. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So Monday passes, it's 6 o'clock at night. Monday passes. Nothing else is going to be happening with this case. Auction's scheduled for 10 a.m. the next day. So, I'm under the gun freaking out here. So 9 a.m., soon as stuff opens, I'm going to dial in the judge's assistant. Ring, ring. "Hey, there's a motion filed. Can you get in front of the judge? Hey, there's a..." And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, I'll go ahead and I'll put an administrative stop to the auction right now, and we'll get this in front of the judge." So that's how we stopped it. Luckily, we got it in front of the judge. Judge signed it, and then we were able to buy the property from the 10 heirs. They ended up getting about 20 grand, so $2 grand a piece for everybody. Better than nothing. But at least it didn't go to auction. At least we were able to totally revitalize that property and get it back as a good property on the market. So the little known legal loophole we were able to stop it with is the right of redemption. Most people don't know it's up to 10 days after the auction. You can just go down to the courthouse, pay the money on that judgment, and it's gone, null and void. You could do that up to 10 days after the auction, and that's why the certificate of title isn't issued till after that. Again, no, I'm not an attorney, no legal advice. This is just my experience through buying foreclosures and stopping foreclosures and things of that nature. So the way they were able to stop it was selling it to me. I threatened the right of redemption, saying that we were going to close it no matter what. They really didn't have a choice. So that got the attorney to go ahead and file the motion to stop the auction, and we did it within days of the auction being sold at auction. So it's never too late. There's always options. We're always happy to help if you're in the greater Jacksonville area. If not, I hope this helps for what you're going through or struggling with. Thanks so much, guys.